Trenton Tye, it is absolutely a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, sir.
I like that name, too.
Yeah.
Purgatory.
Isn't that a great graphic?
Yeah, that looks good. We got some, Ironworks. Again, it is a pleasure. And you doing these 3 exclusive items for us, that is absolutely awesome. But before, and it's going to be whatever one you want, Model 1, Model 2, Model 3, correct?
Right.
And on this special airing, you're going to autograph these sheaths. Trenton, give us a little bit of your background, please.
So I started when I was 7. I always say that. I saw my first blacksmith.
7?
7, absolutely. I was a prodigy.
Wow.
No, actually it was terrible. But I saw my first blacksmith in Andersonville, Georgia. And I went back when I was older in college and met the guy and basically was his apprentice until he passed away in 2003. So it's been in my blood a long time. So it's awesome stuff.
And then you started with knives, but you do a lot more than just knives. As a matter of fact, we're going to be showing you something that's pretty impressive. I'm going to let him pick it up here in just a little while. Not yet, because I don't think I've ever picked up a sword that weighed as much as what you actually built. All right, so you got into this, and evidently you had a passion for it.
Yeah.
And then you, in 2016, which I didn't realize 2016 was the first year of Forged in Fire.
God, I'm getting old. It's been that long. But yeah, because it seems like yesterday.
Talk about age with me. And you started, I guess it was episode 2?
Yes, sir.
That you were saying. You went through all of that. I'm sure that was a very, very exciting. It had to have been.
It was New York. It's kind of wild.
And then you did this, you did a little thing for Discovery that was called Master
of Arms.
Master of Arms. So by all means, folks, he absolutely has the TV under his belt. So, all right, a little bit about these knives. Model 1, Model 2, Model 3. And basically they're identical other than the size of them. And you use a 1095 carbon.
Yes, sir.
And then, now we've been showing these without any autograph sheath, all right? So, again, this segment, they're going to be autographed. And I've made very many comments because I've been all over the South. Pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
All right, yeah, you got to call it pecan. And I'm going to get in trouble for that. I'm going to have people argue with me. Just give me a little insight on what you start with. How do you start this? I've never, ever made a knife, Mr. Tye.
That's terrible.
I know.
Everybody needs to
I've sewed them, but I've never made one. I wouldn't be any good at it.
So when we put these together, these knives, like I said, 1095 is an older steel. It's really good stuff. We want a simple, durable knife. At the end of the day, does the knife do the job? And we simply want a knife that did the job. And back in the old days, especially here during the American Revolution, you had what they called trade knives. And they were knives that were shipped over in barrels, and they were specifically because they would trade them with the natives. They were useful on the frontier, and they simply did the job, and that's what we wanted to do. So slab handles made out of local pecan. Why pecan, of all things? Because I am too cheap to buy maple, and we have a pecan farm down the road.
It's only the second item that I can recall that we've ever done with the pecan. Yeah. We did the Limited Frost Family series. I like the rough look. I like the rustic look. You build a knife for people to use, by all means. I've also heard 1095 be referred to as like a railroad spike. Steel.
Oh, and Lord, I think I heard. A fight?
No, for railroad spikes.
No,
I actually heard that. I thought on Forged in Fire, but I may have been wrong.
You probably heard that somebody was quenching in line with Magnetic North too, didn't you?
Oh, goodness gracious! All right, get ready, folks. You have 3 options, and again, on this particular segment that you're watching, you're going to have him. He's been over here autographing sheaths. Take advantage. Have you ever autographed before?
No, I don't think I've ever autographed a knife before.
Well, good. So that's an absolute first. You know what I really, really admire and like about your knives?
What's that?
The rustic. I like the way that they look. Like it's basically you get it out of the forge, and I guess the blade has to be, I may be wrong now, hot, and you block stamp it with Trenton Tye.
Yeah.
and then you don't really fancy them up or anything like that. And that's, I appreciate that. This is a knife for folks to take to the woods, for them to use, or, you may not hunt, you may fish, you may like to hike, you may like to camp. And they're working knives. What else, and I've been saying this because we've offered these before, we had very few. We've got the rest of them, correct?
Right.
All right,
Absolutely.
we have all this left available for sale. The affordability.
Yeah.
The affordability. But yeah, try one out. But you do all of this other merchandise. So
We do.
Yeah, so just give us a little insight on this other, besides knives.
Sure.
That you do.
Well, like I said, I refused to have a real job from back in the day, and so that's when I became a blacksmith.
Me too.
So yeah, real works for people who actually have discipline. So, but no, as a blacksmith, there's not a degree for it. So we had to be very cagey about how we made our money. We had to be very flexible. So over the years, we've done everything from doing what they call peanut blades, all that peanut butter that you enjoy.
Right.
Almost all of it's grown within 100 miles of where I live. And they've got these huge 40-inch, half-inch thick blades, and we'd actually beat these things out for our farmers.
Right.
So, but that led into, us just doing all this different type of work. And then, of course, we started filming for YouTube, which, again, I cannot get over how awesome this studio is.
Yeah, you got quite a few videos that are out there.
Yeah.
I've not even watched all of them, but...
It's good stuff. And no, we started filming there, and, of course, that led me to Forged in Fire. And then, of course, being on Master Arms, that gave me some contacts in the film industry. And then we got into doing prop work for the movies because, of course, it's huge in Georgia.
There you go. So you're talking about making items
Yep.
for them to use in movies. And I say that is probably stressful.
No, I love it. When I have one of these movie people call me up and they have no idea what they're doing, I'm about to make a lot of money. I love it when I have a stressed out movie person coming in because, there's somebody from LA who needs a 17th century cane knife. They don't even know what it looks like on Google.
Right.
And so I get a chance to actually, because I know this stuff, not only do I get to kind of save the day, I get to make a lot of money doing it because they need it and they need it now.
So that's cool, and you have a passion. You have to have that passion. All right, so you do these 3 designs. They're ours, folks. No more are available for sale, but we're in the works with you, and you're working with Terry on doing some special project.
Absolutely. And the reason that we started doing these is because I've done really high-end knives. We work with ivory. We've got a full jewelry set up. Right. But nobody that lived around me can afford an $800 knife. And if I paid $800 for a knife, it'd be in my vault.
That's big bucks.
It's big bucks.
I want to show one of these. I'm just going to pick it up. I hope my fingernails are all right. All right, so this is Forged 1095 carbon, Model 1, by the way. Everything about this is straight up custom handmade. As soon as I see it, I can tell. It's kind of like, what do they call that, a coffin handle?
Yep, that is what we call a faceted coffin handle.
And pecan wood, so it's an outdoor person's knife. But you know what? I think there's a collectible aspect to this also, being that you do swords, you do, is it like medieval stuff? As a matter of fact, whenever we can, if you don't mind picking it up, I want to show this. Sure. I want you to see this, folks. There it is.
This is what we call boredom personified.
Yeah, I'm going to get out of your way there, bud.
So I got bored one day, and of course we do.
That's what he does when he gets bored.
Well, the thing is, look, I love knives. I started in knives, but there's a bit of a limiting factor. But when you're, a full-time blacksmith, you can do so much cool stuff with steel.
So what is this?
So that's actually 5160, believe it or not. It's not sharp.
So that's all very hard steel, I think?
It's spring steel. We went to a scrapyard in Dothan, Alabama. Yeah. And again, I could have used mile, but again, that's just what I had.
So wall hanger.
Yeah.
Is that the only one that you've ever made?
Oh, God, no. No, I stared this nonsense in college. I got so
Well, I'm talking about that design.
Oh, I have no idea where this came from. This is just, I had crud that I glued together in the shop. Is basically how that works.
Dude, I like that. I think that's cool as all get out. You kind of remind me of like Michael Prater.
There's a certain similarity in the madness.
Yeah, so we're not selling that item, by the way, and I assure you there are people that are going to want to purchase it. So,
Man, there's a steakhouse down the road. I would sell this in a heartbeat. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Don't tell Terry that. All right. So option 3, large. Option 2, medium. Option 1, which is the smaller one, which actually, you know, I've deer hunted, you know, good gosh.
Let me sit that down.
Most of my whole entire life, you know, since I was able to actually go deer hunting. I like the smaller version as far as a working all-around useful knife, you know, for me. The big knives and everything, I don't really carry a whole heck of a lot. To me, it's a front pocket. So I've got my hunting overalls. I don't put it on my belt.
Can I see the number 1 there?
There you go.
Now, I'm going to tell you, like I said, of all these knives here, now believe me, I'll sell all of them. Mm-hmm. But to me, for a deer hunter, the professional deer hunters that I know are right there. Yeah. That is everything that a professional deer hunter needs to do everything on a carcass.
I used a 4-inch lot blade for a long, long time, for the vast majority. And then I've just always been that way. So these are all limited in availability, and I think, Jesse, you said 30, right? All right, so we have 30 of each one of these that are available, that he's doing the honors of autographing, signing these leather sheaths, and I really, really appreciate you doing that. And from what I'm understanding, it's the first time that you've ever done it, so it's a pleasure, it's an honor, actually, to show this first. And I think that our future is going to be really, really good.
I hope so.
You know, you just keep working with him over there, Terry, and yeah, it will be absolutely fine. 30, 138, 158, 178. In Purgatory, you're in Georgia, mm-hmm. You know, and Georgia's I used to hunt in Jackson, below Atlanta. Yep. That's where my son, he was 8. And he harvested his first deer. Yeah, I'll never, ever forget that. So you're all over. You do, what other type of product do you actually custom hand make?
So we've got a lot of stuff because of the stuff that we work on in the movies. We've got a full leather shop. We've got a wood shop. So just been, like I said, our apron we do a lot of satchels and whatnot.
Well, I like the satchels. So, and I hope Terry starts maybe working like a wallet. The leather wallet, you know, along that line. Yeah.
Well, it's hard to find. You know, most of the places that make leather, even our sheaths, and I'm gonna brag about my sheaths a little bit.
You ought to. They're good. They're awesome.
You know,
I brag about them.
I love them. They're 8 to 9 ounce, and we do these in house. And the dang thing about knife makers, you see these guys with these incredible knives,
right? And they have a crappy sheath.
They have a crappy sheath. I can't believe it. So
he said crappy too.
I'm sorry.
We're not talking about the fish.
Oh.
No, yeah. I mean, you know, go all out. Like I said, I like the rustic. I like the forged look. You know, we don't hardly ever see that anymore with knives and how they're produced in this day, other than some custom knife makers. And, you know, my grandfather, that's how I started selling knives.
Really?
Yeah, his Barlow's. I'll never forget it. He would not carry a stainless steel knife. Barlow's and Sunfish. You know, and yeah, it got me in. He passed, and I found a Tampa Nugget cigar box that had the knives in it. And,
you know, one of the first men that I ever gave away a knife to was a guy named Tamp, and he was called that because when he was a kid, Tamp Ferguson.
Yeah.
He'd taken the little band off the cigar and he wore it as a ring, and so all the older guys called him Tamp the rest of his life till he passed away. His name was Tamp, World War II veteran.
That is cool. One more time. Let's look over these real quick, and I'm going to let him give you a little bit more information on his history and how this all came about since the age of 7. To me, that is just fascinating. Model 1, the smaller version, and I'm guessing that you probably know the length of it. It's going to be what, 6.5, 7 inches?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. And then Model 2, the medium size. And from what I'm understanding, I think the largest model is the one that we're selling the most of. Is that correct, there, Miss Jess? All right. See. She's
on top of it.
She's just agreeing with me. And then Model 3, the large one, 138, 158, 178. limited to 30 of each one of these where he's autographing the sheath. Not everybody's going to, but I know that there are folks out there that are watching right now, Trenton, Mr. Tye, that'll buy all 3 of them.
Mr. Tye, so weird.
Buy all 3 of them. So call us. You have a 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee. This is only the beginning with this gentleman right here. And that's collectible. If you don't like it, you can send it back. We've not had one single return. We've been showing these sparingly.
Yeah.
You know, because we didn't have a great deal of them. I don't know, a couple of them a week or something like that at the most, Jessica. They've done very, very well. And I think having the autograph is really added. And once again, thank you for doing all of that. But you do ornament, you do like kitchen stuff or?
We do a lot of interior hardware, architectural work. We do a lot of hinges and hardware like for our movies and whatnot. Yeah. You know, we've done potholes. We got some really beautiful fire screens we just did for Mr. Jimmy Rain, who's the Yellowwood gentleman.
Right.
So we get to do a lot of really cool stuff.
See, I think that's neat, like the fireplace type of screens. I don't know if they'll be on the show or anything like that, but I definitely want to get in, not just in the knives. Of course, we're a knife show. We've been doing this for almost 3 decades, but your leather work. Your leather work is exceptional, folks.
Thank you, sir.
So that's items, and you know that's something that that's what the future is going to hold for us. And how can they get a hold of you? I mean, how can they look at your at what all this fascinating work that you do?
So we have an Instagram, which is Trenton Tye. You can look me up on YouTube's where most everybody knows me under Purgatory Ironworks.
The good old YouTube.
Yep. No, we've been out there a while. We haven't been getting a chance to do a lot of filming here with the strike here lately, but that's where you can check me out. And of course, if you just pop my name into Google, you cannot miss me.
These are very, very high quality, awesome, custom, handmade pieces. So affordable that it's kind of shocking to me. And you'll receive this autograph sheath, which, you know, I don't know if we'll do that again. That's going to be something that we'll work out in the future with the autograph. We'll have to see what he thinks about it after he does. What's it going to be, 90 sheaths? Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You'll,
oh, yeah. We got a little bit of work today.
But try one out. At least one. Those of you that are going the collectible aspect of this, if you can buy all 3 of them, then that's the complete set. All right, there's not going to be a 4th, I gather, like this.
No.
So that'll be done. Trenton, it is always a pleasure, sir. Thank you, sir.
And
this will be one of many visits. Realize, as I've mentioned over and over again, he does some extra custom knives exclusive for Cutlery Corner Network. He doesn't do 50 in a week. All right, so it's a time factor. Yeah, it's a period of time, but I want you, if you can, if everything works out, which I know that it is going to, do a Christmas. Christmas show.
We're going to try to bring the Forge Wagon up here and do a little demo for you guys.
The Forge Wagon.
So we actually travel.
That's cool.
Yeah, we have a traveling blacksmith show. We go to a lot of the big state fairs. In fact, we're getting ready for our first big show in Perry, Georgia. Coming October. And I
actually heard about one that went about in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge.
Hadn't made it up there yet. But
Okay.
we're going to be doing that. So no, we're going to come back. But if you don't mind, before I forget, you have done such a great job on these knives.
Wow.
But I had a gentleman call me the other day. They had bought one of the knives off of here. And I didn't ask his name, but I just wanted to tell him thank you for calling, because it always means a lot. Like I said, he called to tell me how much he liked the knife, how much on that end of it. And
that's what it's all about, Trenton.
Yeah.
Cool. Hope he didn't say anything bad about me.
Oh no. He look here. Your fans. And by the way, there's a guy named Dale Busman down in Cordele, Georgia. Busman.
Yeah.
And when you guys had first aired these knives, I hadn't talked to Dale in 20 years, and he called me just about to lose his mind that he had seen a Trenton Tye knife on Cutlery Corner. So
that was a pleasure for me. I mean, you know, not just you, but actually having a person that went through the ordeal that you had to go through on Forged in Fire. That's a career thing for me. And I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, sir.
Again, try one of these knives out. You're going to enjoy them. Thank you, Trenton.
Thank you for having me here.